the clock is far too loud, like a thunderclap of silence inside a heavy cloud. The kettle isn't whistling, the radio is dead, just the static of the always living in my head. I used to hear your humming through the drywall and the wood. I'd trade every tomorrow to hear it if I could. But the air has turned to velvet, thick and hard to breathe, since you packed up every echo and decided you would leave. And these silent rooms kill me a little every day, watching the ghosts of us just flicker into gray. There's no audience for the breaking, no music for the fall, just the sound of my own shadow climbing up the wall. I'm shouting in the hallway, but the walls don't make a sound. In this hollow pain of wreckage that I finally found, the quiet is a rager, the quiet is a plea. Silent moans are killing what is left of me. The dust motes are the only things that dance inside the light. In the bedroom where we used to talk away the night, I find a stray thread on the road beside the chair, but I can't find a syllable of you inside the air. I'm minimizing movements just to keep the floor from creaking in this starless kind of vacuum where no one is even speaking. The mirrors are all frozen, the hallways are all thin. I'm a prisoner of the nothingness that's rushing on my skin. Is it matter if the weapon is the lack of any sound? If the heart just stops beating in the center of the ground? I'm begging for a ride, I'm begging for a storm to shatter the forever that used to keep me warm. But the house is just a desert, a starless cold retreat, where the funeral of silence is finally complete. And these silent alarms kill me little every day, watching the ghosts of us just flicker into gray. There's no audience for the breaking, no music for the fall, just the sound of my own shadow climbing up the wall. I'm shouting in the hallway, but the walls don't make a sound. In this hollow kind of wreckage that I could hear a pin drop, so heavy, I just wanted to stop. The walls are closing in, the night is getting thin. Goodbye. They kill me. I still haven't moved the chair from the corner of the room where the evening light turns a heavy shade of gloom. The kitchen's way too quiet, the kettle's gone to rest, and our forever plans are just a valley made of dust. I find your scent on sweaters I'm too terrified to wear, like a ghostly kind of oxygen hanging in the air. I'm tracing out the patterns where your shadow used to lie, underneath the hollow of a starless empty sky. And oh, it's a mountain, it's a canyon, it's a hole, this aching little crater in the center of my soul. I'm stumbling through the minutes, I'm drowning in the blue, in the space you left behind that's still reaching out for you. It's a silent kind of wreckage, it's the velvet line defeat, where the absence of your heartbeat makes the loneliness complete. I'm tethered to the nothing, I'm anchored to the mind, lost inside the space you left behind. The clocks are all still ticking, but the time is standing still, like a shivering reminder of the winter morning chill. I check the driveway nightly, looking for a sign of the version of a story where you're still entirely mine. But the linen's getting colder on your side of the bed, and I'm suffocating slowly on the things we never said. I'm a stranger in our kitchen, the ghost inside our home, watching the memory of us start to climb up every wall. Is it bigger than the ocean? Is it wider than the dark? The vacuum that you created when you took away your spark. I'm fumbling for the light switch, I'm searching for the key to shatter through the silence of the wreckage that is me. I'm treading water blindly in a starless open sea, and the hollow the space you left behind. Just an empty chair, just a hollow frame, whispering to the shadows a syllable of your name. The door is locked, the light is low, and I've nowhere else left to go. In that space I'm picking up the shards from the kitchen floor, right where you stood before you reached for the door. The gravity of never is a heavy kind of weight, dragging down the promises that we delivered late. I find a fragment in the corner, a splinter in the hole, watching the colors of our always start to fall. It's a jagged little puzzle, with the edges turned to gray, as the foundation of the us just slowly slips away. 'Cause I'm holding on to pieces of my heart tonight, trying to stitch the shadows back into the light. But the thread is getting thin, and the needle's made of glass, watching the ghosts of every forever past. It's a hollow kind of wreckage, a velvet line defeat, where the absence of your heartbeat makes the loneliness complete. I'm a shattered masterpiece that you tore apart, just living with these pieces of my heart. I see your silhouette in every broken frame, whispering to the silence a syllable of your name. The clouds are all ticking, but the time is standing still, like a shivering reminder of a winter morning chill. I try to glue the memories, try to make them fit, but I'm just bleeding from the sharp and jagged edge of it. I'm a stranger in our kitchen, a ghost inside our room, burying my spirit in the gathering of gloom. Did you take the center? Did you leave the rest to suffocate inside this hollow, empty chest? I'm fumbling through the ruins, I'm searching through the dark for the remnants of a long extinguished spark. I'm tethered to the void, I'm anchored to the pain, and the downward of a starless, never-ending rain. 'Cause I'm holding on to pieces of my heart tonight, trying to stitch the shadows back into the light. For every time I cry, I'm incomplete, and I'm fading out of you. Pieces of my heart, and they're all with you. Pieces of my The keys are still sitting in the porcelain bowl, right where you left them when you took my soul. I'm walking through the kitchen in the middle of the night, turning off the shadows and chasing the light. The clocks have all stalled at the moment you went, in the hollow of the minutes that we already spent. I find your scent on the curtains, a ghost in the breeze, bringing the wreckage of us to its knees. And it's just love left behind us, like dust on the floor, a latch that won't click on an open door. We built a kingdom out of velvet and glass, only to watch the forever pass. I'm shivering in the silence, I'm drowning in the blue, in the empty spaces that are missing you. It's a bitter kind of mercy, a velvet line cost, just living in the love that we lost. I see the indentation on your side of the bed, a lingering reminder of the things we never said. I try to pour the coffee for a table of two before I remember that I'm through with you. The neighbors are laughing, the world's moving fast, while I'm tethered to a version I was never meant to last. I'm a stranger in our hallways, a ghost in a room, burying my spirit in the gathering of gloom. Did we burn it too bright? Do we hold it too tight until we shatter the center of the middle of the mud? I'm falling through the ruins, I'm searching through the dark for the remnants of a long extinguished spark, but the foundation is gone and the mercy is thin. I'm wearing the winter underneath my own skin, and it's just love left behind us, like dust on the floor, a latch that won't click on an open door. We built a kingdom memory that's missing from me. The door is locked, the light is low, and I've nowhere else left to go. All left The clocks have all stalled at the edge of the night, and the hallway is drowning in a cold gray light. I'm watching your shadow drift away from the door, but I don't hear the sound of your heart anymore. We used to have thunder, we used to have storms, back when the friction could keep us both warm. Now the air is so heavy, it's a velvet lined wall, and I'm just a ghost watching everything fall. And oh, I'm losing you in silence, bit by bit, while I sit in the darkness and I'm shivering in it. No screaming or shouting, no final goodbye, just the halo of a starless and empty sky. The volume is fading, the colors are through, I'm just dissolving in the absence of you. It's a quake kind of wreckage, a starless retreat. Losing you in silence makes the heartbreak complete. I find your scent on the curtains, a ghost in the breeze, bringing the random silvers to its knees. There's a faucet that's leaking, a lonely old tune, in a kitchen that's missing a Sunday afternoon. I try to speak up, try to find the right word, a whisper in a hollowed out frame. No one notices the sound of your name. The light is low, the night is long. I'm losing you, and then you're gone. Losing you inside, and losing you in silence. The sun came up like it didn't even know. Hit the foundation, it cracked and was starting to go. I watched the dust dance in the light by the door, while you packed up the pieces of us from the floor. There was no thunder, no cinematic rain, just the hollow kind of silence that carries the pain. I stood in the hallway and I couldn't move. With 1,000 tons of words I was trying to prove. On the day you left, the world kept on spinning, but it felt like the end was the only beginning. The clocks were all ticking, the neighbors were loud, but I was just staggering inside of a cloud. I memorized the shape of your back in the light, before you faded out slowly and turned into night. Everything changed in the pool of a breath. On the day you left, it felt like a death. I found your toothbrush still damp in the tray, a bitter kind of relic from a better yesterday. I tried to speak, but the oxygen failed, as the version of always grew quiet and pale. Your car in the driveway, the sound of the key was the final confession of the wreckage of me. I didn't scream and I didn't fall down. I just became a ghost in a paper-thin town. They said time is a healer, but time is a thief that stretches the seconds to lengthen no grief. I'm tethered to the moment you reached for the gate, and the slow motion tragedy delivered too late. The shadows are longer, the mercy is thin, since the nothingness decided to rush on in. On a day you left, the world kept on spinning, but it felt like the end was the only beginning. The clocks were all ticking and neighbors were loud, but I was just staggering inside of the cloud. I memorized the shape of your back forgot its own name. The sun went down and the stars were all on the day you left. I stopped belonging the day you left. That porch light was flickering, a rhythmic goodbye. Under the hollow weight of a lavender sky, I watched you move in slow motion toward the gate, while I stood paralyzed by the hands of fate. You didn't look back, you didn't even blink, leaving me on the edge of a shattering brink. The gravel was crunching like bone under you, and I finally numbed to the way that I feel. 'Cause the world stopped spinning when you walked away. The colors all bled into a permanent gray. I'm a map with no compass, a heart with no beat, just wreckage and shadows left out on the street. Every promise we whispered turned into a lie under the starless vacuum of a final goodbye. I'm shivering in a winter that's here to stay. Ever since the second when you walked away, I went back inside and the silence was loud, like the heavy pressure of a thundercloud. I found your keys sitting cold on the shelf, and I lost the version of my old self. The clocks are all ticking, but the time is a ghost. just a heart that forgot its own spark. The driveway is empty, the light is so low, and I'm standing here with nowhere to go. When you walk I'm staring at the lock on the front of the door, knowing it won't turn for me anymore. The highway is a hollow kind of canyon and cold, echoing the secrets that we never got to hold. I'm checking the driveway, but the gravel is still underneath the weight of a winter morning chill. I've got the lights on, but the room is pitch black. Since you left and decided you weren't coming back, and there's no more hello tonight. I'm sweeping up the corners of a life we used to lead. But there's a hollow kind of hunger where the spirit used to feed. The gold on the mantle has lost its summer shine, just like the promises you swore were always mine. I reached for the foundation, but the stone began to crumble, leading me in the shadows with a slow and quiet stumble. The mirrors are all cloudy and the windows are all thin, watching the gray start to settle on the person I have been. 'Cause I'm watching life turn to dust in the palm of my hand, a shattered little kingdom built on sinking, shifting sand. It's flaking off the ceiling, it's drifting through the air, a bitter kind of ghost of a love that isn't there. I'm choking on the memory, I'm shivering in the cold, tracing out the story that's already been told. No more fire, no more heat, no more trust, just the hollow feeling of love turned to dust. The clocks are still ticking, but the gears are full of grit, and I'm suffocating softly in the heavy weight of it. I found your reasons in the wreckage, under every lonely bed, mixed with the static of the words we never said. I try to hold it together, try to glue the pieces back, but the foundation's buried in a deep and permanent lack. I'm a stranger in our kitchen, a shadow in our hall, watching the remnants of us start to climb up every wall. Is there a wind that can blow the ache away, to clear up the debris of another broken day? I'm falling through the ruins, I'm searching for a spot in the starless vacuum of the center of the dark. But it's brittle and it's jagged, it's a velvet line defeat, where the funeral of silence is finally complete. 'Cause I'm watching life turn to dust in the palm of my hand, a shattered little kingdom built on sinking, shifting sand. It's flaking off the ceiling, it's drifting through the air, a bitter kind of ghost of a love that isn't there. I'm soaking on the memory, I'm shivering in the cold, tracing up a story that's already been told. No more fire, no more heat, no more trust, just a hollow feeling of love turned to dust. Just a powder on the empty side of the bed, just a heart that's pinned to the things you said. Close my eyes and let the shadows fall until they're I'm standing in the hallway where the floorboards used to sing, and all the silence is a heavy, jagged thing. I'm looking at the photos where we're laughing in the sun, trying to find the second that the damage was begun. The coffee's getting bitter in a kitchen made for two, and I'm searching for a version of the world that still has you. We had a map of forever drawn in pencil on the wall. Now I'm just staggering as the shadows start to fall. Where did we go? How did we lose the light? How did it always turn to shivers in the middle of the night? We were a symphony of promises, a fire in the cold. Now we're just a story that's already been told. I'm reaching for your fingers, but I'm catching on the air, drowning in the absence of a love that should be there. Tell me, where did we go? The closet's halfway empty, and the air is getting thin. Watching all the nothingness decide to rush on in. I find your scent on sweaters that I can't quite throw away, a lingering reminder of the warmer, better day. Did we drift like autumn leaves, or did we shatter like the glass? Watching every vivid piece of our forever past. I'm a stranger at the table, I'm a ghost inside the room, burying my spirit in the gathering of gloom. Was it one surely word or 1,000 small neglects? A slow erosion of the hearts that love protects. I'm fumbling for the switch, I'm looking for the key to shut us through the silence of the wreckage that is me. I'm treading water blindly in a starless open sea, wondering when the us became a memory. Where did we go? How did we lose the light? How did it always turn to clocks have all stopped in the hallway of us, turning our gold into powder and rust. I shout your name just to hear a familiar sound, but the silence is the only thing that's ever around. I'm a ghost in a house that we built out of glass, watching the shadows of our forever past. The kitchen is hollow, the kettle is cold, like a story that's already been bought and sold. And now only echoes love me in the middle of the night, the ghost of your laughter in the fading light. I'm talking to the walls and I'm reaching for the air, finding the remnants of a love that isn't there. It's a hollow kind of comfort, a lonely kind of fright, a voice that keeps breaking at the very end. The empty spaces are the only things that stay. Yeah, only echoes love me anyway. I find your scent on a pillowcase I missed, a bitter reminder of the lips that I once kissed. I'm praying back the messages I should have erased, searching for a future that's been totally displaced. The floorboards are creaking with the weight of your feet, but it's just the house trying to make me complete. I'm a prisoner of a sound that's beginning to fade, underneath the weight of the promises we made. If I breathe into the canyon, will you hear the sound? Or am I just stuttering on its frozen ground? I'm tethered to a memory that scores in its shape, looking for a doorway or a secret escape. But the walls just give back every word that I send, like a broken record that will never ever end. And now the echoes love me in the middle of the night, the pulse of your laughter in the fading light. We're talking to the walls and I'm reaching for the air, finding remnants of a love that isn't there. It's a hollow kind of comfort, a lonely kind of friend, a voice that keeps breaking at the very end. The empty spaces are the only things that stay. Yeah, only echoes love me anyway. Listen to the quiet, it sounds just like you. Listen to the aching that's eternally blue, just an echo in a silent room, a lonely shadow in the afternoon. Call me reaching glass, counting all the shadows as the hours pass. My shoulders are heavy, my spirits turn to gray, like a weathered old house that's starting to sway. I used to have fire, I used to have a spark, before you left me shivering alone in the dark. Now the simplest things feel like a mountain to climb, and I'm stalling on the edges of borrowed time. 'Cause I'm worn out by life, and I'm tired of the fight, of carrying this hollow through the middle of the night. My heart is a garment that's been washed too many times, frayed at the seams by our unspoken crimes. I got nothing left to give, nothing left to lose, just a bitter collection of the lonely man's blues. Every step is a struggle, every breath is a knife. I'm just worn out by life. The soles of my shoes are getting paper thin, just like the patience I'm wearing within. I try to smile for the neighbors in the grocery store, but I don't recognize a man in the mirror no more. Your absence is a weight that I can't quite drop, a leaking faucet that I can't quite stop. I'm rusting in the rain, I'm fading in the sun, trying to finish a race that's already been won. Is there a place where we can finally rest, to take the lead out of the broken chest? I'm treading water in a sea of used to be, waiting for the tide to finally take me. I've patched up the holes and I've mended the tears, but I can't fix the damage of these hollow years. 'Cause I'm worn out by life, and I'm tired of the fight, of carrying this hollow through the middle of the night. My heart is a garment I'm standing on the corner of Fifth and Main, just a blur in the static and the falling rain. Thousands of shoulders brushing past my skin, but nobody notices the state that I'm in. I see your ghost in every storefront glass, watching the shadow of our forever past. I'm shouting your name in a breathless whisper, while the city gets louder and the air gets crisper. And I'm forgotten in the crowd, a face without a name, since you extinguished every flicker of the flame. I'm a hollow silhouette in a neon-lit sea, searching for the version of who I used to be. The world keeps moving, hitting every beat, while I'm just shattered on the cold concrete. I'm invisible now, I'm lost in the loud, just a broken heart, forgotten in the crowd. The subway is a tunnel of familiar faces, heading to their homes and their secret places. I'm a stowaway on a train going nowhere fast, trying to untangle the future from the past. I find your scent on a stranger's coat, and a bitter kind of silence rises in my throat. I used to be someone when I held your hand. Now I'm just static in a busy land. Does anyone see that the sky is falling down? Does anyone care that I'm starting to drown? I'm screaming in silence while the sirens blare, tossing my loneliness into the open air. I'm a ghost at the party, glitch in the light, burying my spirit in the middle of the night. And I'm forgotten in the crowd, a face without a name, since you extinguished every flicker of the flame. I'm a hollow silhouette in a neon-lit sea, searching for a version of who I used to be. The world keeps moving, hitting every beat. I'm just shattered on the cold concrete. I'm invisible now, I'm lost in the loud, just a broken heart, forgotten in the crowd, just a blur in a fast-moving frame. No one stops to remember my name, passing by like a cloud in the sky, forgotten, goodbye. Forgotten in the crowd. I'm standing where the tide comes to claim the shore, tracing out the shape of what we aren't anymore. I tried to build a castle, I tried to make a stand, but I was carving out a life inside the shifting sand. Your footprints are filling with the salt and the gray, as the memory of us starts to wash itself away. I'm heavy with the water, I'm sinking in the silt, underneath the burden of the silence we built. 'Cause I got a heart like wet sand slipping through my chest, a heavy kind of hollow that never lets me rest. The more I try to hold you, the more you disappear, dissolving in the current of every lonely tear. I'm losing my foundation, I'm crumbling at the seams, drowning in the wreckage of our washed out dreams. No matter how I struggle, I'm pulled back to the deep, with a heart like wet sand that I can't even keep. The horizon is a promise that I can't quite reach, just a lonely silhouette on an empty frozen beach. I see the ocean rising to take what's left of me, a bitter kind of mercy from the cold and open sea. You were the anchor, you were the solid ground before the storm came and we're forever drowned. Now I'm just shoreside, where valley blur, chasing the phantom of the person that we were. The wind is whistling through the gaps in my chest, a hollow kind of rhythm that won't let me rest. I've been floating in static, I've been suspended in the air ever since you left me, with nothing but a stare. The engine stalled, we're beginning the descent. Spent every shred of hope that we ever spent, and I'm just waiting for the crash, waiting for the sound of everything we built hitting the frozen ground. I'm bracing for the impact, I'm closing my eyes underneath the weight of these unforgiving skies. The free fall is lonely, the gravity is fast. I'm just waiting for the moment, it's gonna be our last. I've been hanging by a heartbeat, I've been living on a flash. Now I'm just waiting for the crash. The altimeter spinning, the lights are turning red, echoing the bitter words that you finally said. I can see the tree line coming up to meet my feet, a jagged little ending that makes this story complete. I try to steer us level, I try to find the shore, but I don't have the strength to fight the wind no more. It's a slow motion disaster, a beautiful debris, watching the distance grow between you and me. Maybe the shadow will be a kind of release, a violent way to find a little bit of peace. Instead of this tension, instead of this dread of carrying a ghost of the things he never said, let the glass start, let the metal start to bend. I'm ready for the silence at the very, very end, and I'm just waiting for the crash, waiting for the sound of everything we built hitting the frozen ground. I'm bracing for the impact, I'm closing my eyes underneath the weight of these unforgiving skies. The free fall is lonely, the gravity is fast. I'm just waiting for the moment that's gonna be our last. I've been hanging by a heartbeat, I've been living on a flash. I'm just waiting for the crash. Any second now, the world is gonna shake. Any second now, the heart is gonna break. The calm is getting closer, the light is getting